Hey friends, how do you make sense of Jesus' teachings that don't make sense? That's what I want to talk about today for our encouragement, devotional, maybe rant. And this story gives us a good opportunity to do that because he's going to ask these people to do something that doesn't make a lot of sense until they do it and see what happens. Right? There's your answer. But we've been in John chapter 2, 1 to 12. You should read that. We're going to read verses 7 to 10. Jesus said to the servants, "Fill the jars with water." So they filled them to the brim. Then he told them, "Now draw some out and take it to the master of the banquet." They did so, and the master of the banquet tasted the water that had been turned into wine. He did not realize where it had come from, though the servants who had drawn the water knew. Then he called the bridegroom aside and said, "Everyone brings out the choice wine first, and then the cheaper wine after the guests have had too much to drink. But you've saved the best to now." See, he just didn't realize what had happened. See, knowing that this water had come from the place where people would wash their dirty hands, would you have obeyed what Jesus told these guys to do? I probably would not have. Now, we have the benefit of being on this side of the miracle, so we can go, oh yeah, I mean, obviously, right? This we would have done exactly what he said. But if you didn't know what was going to happen, I don't think I would have listened to what he said. See, in a small town, right, the word gets around. I can see these guys looking at each other going, look, if we do what Jesus said, we're going to lose our job because we're going to take dirty hand washing, maybe dirty dishwater to our employer. And then they look over and they see Mary and her flip flop, right? And go, if we don't listen, she's going to attack us. And so these guys are in a real predicament. And so they decide that they'd rather deal with their boss than Mary. And they do exactly what Jesus has said. They take the water for ceremonial washing, they scoop some out, and they somewhere, I don't know if it's in the basin, right, in the jars, or if it's on the way, that water turns to the best wine that anybody in the area has ever tasted. See, it doesn't make any sense until they did what Jesus said. And I found that frequently the things that Jesus asks us to do, they don't make any sense until we do them. I don't like to forgive people that have hurt me or that have hurt my family. And it doesn't make any sense to do so until you do it and you realize I wasn't forgiving them for them. I was forgiving them for me because there was something that was going on in my heart and it was tainting me and it was hurting the way I was treating my family and my friends. And for some weird reason, me forgiving them cleaned all that up. See, it didn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to turn the other cheek when I'm attacked until you do it. And then you realize, when I do that, when I fight back, I lose control. But when I turn the other cheek and I go, have another shot, I'm maintaining my power, my self-control, my control over the situation. You actually become the powerful one by turning the other cheek. And so I'm sure this man, he thought he was about to lose his job and maybe more than that if Mary grabbed a hold of him. I don't know. But what I want you to know is when you don't understand what Jesus is saying or why he's doing it, it's just not going to make sense until you do it. Trying out what Jesus says, that's the way to make sense of Jesus' teachings that don't make sense. I hope this blessed you. I would really appreciate it if you would follow our page, my page, like the videos, pass them along. And like I said, I hope this blessed you. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.